entitled Core Components and Architecture of Robotic Systems. So medyo mas magiging technical po tayo at this point. Okay, starting starting in this slide. All right, so let's start without further ado. Okay, so let's begin with the primary components of a robotic system. And first of all, kailangan po natin, if you want to build a robotic system, then one of the things that you have to figure out uh, is paano siya gagalaw or paano siya gagana, paano siya mabubuhay, ano ang i-feed mo sa kanyang power. Okay? So, is that battery operated or nakasaksak lang siya sa wall or solar power controlled or solar power based na robotic system siya or some other forms of energy. Okay? So, 'di ba? Um, kung gusto mo gumana siya, dapat may isusupply kang battery sa kanya or power source of power sa kanya. Okay? And of course, na-mention na din sa definition natin kanina, matatawag siyang robot kung computer-controlled siya. So, controller, specifically a computer-based controller, or more like either mostly a programmable logic controller or microcontroller or a microcomputer. Yan po. So, ito yung, kung ang power source, yan yung kumbaga pagkain ng robot. Controller naman is like the brain. So, ito yung nagpapagana sa um, kanyang logic or sa kanyang pag-iisip. So, of course, hindi siya matatawag na smart, hindi siya makapag-isip kung wala siyang brain. Right? So, actuators naman, ito yung components na nagpo-produce ng movements. So, these are more on the output part. So, ito yung mga susi between the or mga connection between the controller and the actual moving devices. So sila yung magpapagalaw sa moving devices natin like the arms, the legs, sila yung nagpapagalaw doon, actuators. Sila ang kinokontrol natin para paggalawin yung mga different parts of our robotic system. And just like human beings, just like other creatures, kailangan may mga senses din po. So, ang senses ng robotic systems natin ay naging possible through various types of sensors. Like kung nakita niyo sa video po kanina, um, sensors like ultrasonic sensors, yun yung pwede mag-serve as human the eyes of a robotic system para malalaman niya kung malapit siya sa isang obstacle or malayo pa, mababangga na siya, malalaglag na siya or hindi. Kung puno na, kung may tubig, mataas ang level ng tubig, mababa. So, sensors po. Madaming klaseng sensors and depende of course sa kung anong kailangang senses mo at kung saan mo siya gagamitin. So, basically, sa mga starters, okay na po yung ganitong components. May ganitong components ka, matatawag na siyang robotic system. So, especially sa mga beginners, they can make use of Arduino or Raspberry Pi, especially kung may AI na part, Raspberry Pi na. Arduino is more on the basic ones, mostly purely robotic lang. Kung medyo mas smart siya, may machine learning or AI na part, then Raspberry Pi. Especially kung may app ka, may kasama siyang mobile app or web app. Yan po. So, madaming klaseng sensors and actuators. Some of the most common, sabihin natin, okay, are here. We have the temperature humidity sensor. Of course, malaman ng robot natin how hot it is, how humid it is. Also, gas sensors. This could serve as the nose of your robot. No, not just the nose, but also the tongue, sense of taste and sense of smell. Ultrasonic sensor na mentioned ko na, and CMOS camera could serve as the eyes of our robot or the sense of sight. The IR sensor together with the temperature and humidity pwede um, together they can give the robot a sense of touch. PIR is actually sense of sight na din. So um just like human beings, nasa-sense natin, di ba? Without looking, nasa-sense natin pag may gumagalaw. Or depende sa radiation. Or, ganun. So, si PIR sensor, depende sa context, pwede siyang sense of um, touch or sense of sight. Depende sa kung saan mo gagamitin si PIR sensor. Also, we have the rain detection sensor, fire detector sensor, and many other sensors. Okay? Um, madami ding klaseng actuators, but they can be most common, especially for beginners, DC motors and relays. Motors, of course, for movements, relays for switching large machines on and off. Both small and large machines pwedeng dumaan kay relay para mapagana ng ating Arduino or Raspberry Pi. So, bali, ito pala sila. So, packet size lang. Sa mga hindi pa po nakakaalam nito, they are just packet size boards. So, pa-search na lang po if you want to know more about this one. By the way, plug ko lang sa mga taga Iloilo City or sa mga malapit sa Iloilo City sa July 5 po, meron pa tayong konting workshop. Apat na sessions for Arduino and Raspberry Pi po for basic. Okay? Kung interested po kayo, let's kindly see our page. Right? Now, controlling these things depende sa kung paano natin i-configure. So, kung paano yung architecture ng ating components na to. Right? So, for example, kung gusto natin mabilisan lang na for example, pag may na-sense, mag-a-act agad, or kapag may each time nag-act yung robot, masasense agad natin, or may form of measurement tayo or monitoring, then that's a reactive paradigm. So, act, sense, sense, act. Yan po, back and forth. Okay, that's called the reactive paradigm of our control. If you want to make it more smart or smarter, then dapat may planning ahead between sensing and acting. So for example, na-sense ng ultrasonic sensor natin na may na malapit na sa edge ang ating robot. So magpa-plan siya, it will plan its steps, it will plan its direction, velocity, and other parameters so that ang action niya is enough or just exactly what it needs para hindi siya malalaglag. Okay? Without sacrificing its other functions, meaning for example, may binubuhat siya, may iniiwasan siyang danger. Okay? So, para magawa niya yun, gagawa siya ng plano. Paano siya hindi malalaglag nang at the same time naki-carry out niya yung kanyang task. Like, hindi siya pwedeng mag-waste ng time, kaya hindi siya pwedeng tumigil. So, paano siya iiwas sa edge nang hindi tumitigil? So, yun po. Gagawa niya po ng plano niyan. Okay? But there are times na kailangan maganda si reactive paradigm kasi mas mabilis. Wala nang in-between. Maganda si hierarchical or deliberative dahil mas sure, mas smart po yung robot natin. But, of course, mas maganda kung both. Deliberate na siya, reactive pa siya. So, there are times na diretso, act agad after mag-sense, or pwede din, after mag-sense, plano muna siya and before siya mag-act. So, depende, case to case po. May diretso, may dumadaan sa planning. Okay? So, depende sa control structures, depende po sa application natin, depende sa kung ano po yung gusto natin gawin. Okay? So, these are the basic control structures of a robotic system. Okay? So, there are other components of a robotic system, especially for the manipulation robots. So, we have the manipulation components. Zoom in po natin. Sa manipulation robots, most likely, meron silang tinatawag na joints and links. Okay? Together with the base, the joints and links form the manipulator itself. Taga-manipulate. Kumbaga sa kamay ng tao, that's the arm. Okay? And ang dulo ng arm, of course, sa human beings, that's the hand. And sa robotic arms or the manipulation robots, they are called the end effectors. Okay? So, depende sa pangangailangan po natin, paggagamitan natin, end effectors could be in the form of vacuum creepers. So, ang kamay niya is vacuum, higop, or magnetic, binamagnet na lang niya, or general purpose like the human hands. Okay? So, yun po yung tinatawag na manipulation components. And when it comes to mobile robots, especially sa navigation part ng mobile robots, kailangan din po natin pumili ng ating locomotion mechanism. So, locomotion mechanism, depende po ano ba ang gusto natin gawin. Saan ba siya dadaan? Paano ba siya gagalaw? Mabilis ba o mabagal? Diretso o paliko-liko? Okay? Anong parts yung gagamitin natin? So depende talaga sa purpose natin. Ano bang problem na gusto natong mas-solve or ano bang specific application ng robot na gagawin natin? Okay? So if you want wheeled or track crawling na robot, then of course we have components like this. So iba naman po pagdating sa robots na nag-walk, nag-run, hop, nag-crawl. Okay, as you can see, ibang robots naman. So I guess the wheel and track rolling are more on DC motors, geared DC motors, while ang sa gitna, more of these are servo motors. Okay? While flying and hovering, meaning aerial na robots, and yung mga nasa sa tubig, swimming and floating robots, I'm not sure. More often than not, mga DC motors po yung ginagamit dito. Okay? So, case-to-case basis. Right? So, whatever ang locomotion mechanism sa inyo na po paano siya i-design, but mostly minimimic po natin yung nasa natural environment natin. So, as you can see, hindi po aksidente na mukhang animals yung ibang robots natin because kung paano po gumagana yung locomotion ng mga animals na yun din po yung ginagawang basis para sa mechanism nila ng robots na design natin po. Okay? Now, if you want our robots to be more advanced, if you want them to be smarter, then might as well we include these other components. So, if it is intended to move around a certain environment, so it must be able to interact with its environment. Okay? So not just navigation. Navigation meaning na may planning siya kung paano siya mag-move from point A to point B. Hindi lang siya gumagalaw from point A to point B, but pinaplano niya. Mostly, for example, anong shortest route, anong safest route, or ano ang pinaka-advantageous na route. Like, kung dadaan siya dito, may makukuha siyang something pa, like points sa games, di ba? For example, tatlo yung kailangan niya pupuntahan, so saan siya dadaan first? So, yung mga ganong bagay. So, also, just like what you see here, zoom in natin para mas ma-appreciate nyo. Okay? So, ito po, yung sa left picture natin, yung robot natin is trying to cross a narrow path. Okay? Narrow, somewhat like a bridge. So, kung hindi siya maingat, kung wala siyang planning na gagawin, malalaglag at malalaglag po siya. Okay? Walang pangalawa pong sa right side, medyo sadista yung tao, no? So, yung robot naka-target lock sa kanya yung box na may certain QR code na yan. So, parang yun yung identification ng object na target niya na kahit saan pumunta yung box na yan, doon siya pupunta din. Okay? Pag gumalaw yung kanyang target, gagalaw. Mag-a-adjust din po niya kanyang navigation. Ayun po. So malalaman niya kung malapit na siya or malayo pa, kailangan pa niyang gumalaw or stop na siya. Okay? So that's regarding the environment. Now, regarding human beings also. So we have the component called human-machine interaction. As you can see sa picture natin, okay, mamaya na si Baymax. Yung babae, yung little girl, yan po, observe. So, ayan. Nagbe-base siya po sa movement ng babae. And actually, yung kita niyo sa balloon, binigyan siya ng balloon, sinalo niya din. Alam niya na yun yung expected na gawin niya. And yan, expected siyang mag-clap or mag-play ng game na yan. So, ayan po. Nakakatuwa. Or ako lang yung tutuwa. Hindi. Also, of course, si Baymax. Baymax is a good example of human-machine interaction. So, in the entire movie, if you know the movie Big Hero 6, there's a lot of examples of human-machine interaction or human-robot interaction in some textbooks. Okay? So, for example, ito lang napili ko, si Baymax, may nasense siyang pain kay Hero, yung bata. So, alam niyang may pain, but hindi niya ma-comprehend pa din kung how much yung pain. So, that's why tinatanong niya. So, may interaction yung human, si Hero, at sa kanya. Aside sa na-sense niya, may input siyang kinuha din. So, that's another form of interaction. So, nag-uusap sila at the same time, kaya niya ding mag-sense ng mga different um, different na parameters. Okay? So, these are some advanced na components of our robotic system. And doon na po papasok sa AI actually. Okay? So, these two components actually involve AI already. And kung wala to, kung yung nauna lang, so more on basic na robotics po yun. Okay? So, if we want to create a robotic system, here's something that we can, although similar na to sa pinakita po natin kanina, medyo specific lang, medyo na-elaborate lang to. So, this could vary depending sa application, depending on your um, how you want your robot to behave. Okay? Depende sa plano mo. Right? But kung basic lang na robotic system, so ito siya. So first dapat may ano siya, may system na kumukuha ng inputs like the light, sound, touch, proximity, smell, camera, like the human being, di ba? We have our senses. So may component pa tayo na nagka-capture nun. So we have the data acquisition unit. I-feed po yung nakuwang data sa ating CPU, yung sa loob ng ating computing unit. And doon po, i-match na i-feed yung data niyon sa pre-programmed instructions plus yung bagong instructions like our voice commands, like our anything else na wala sa original na program. Okay? Or na, kumbaga daw, parang um, variable na instructions na depende sa user or depende sa environment. Like ang kanina na nakita niyo sa depende sa environment, so those are the additional instructions or depende sa human being, yan, additional instructions din po yun. Okay, so if you feed yun, both the data and the additional instructions, if you feed po yun sa pre-programmed instructions, and then, tsaka na magkakaroon tayo ng mechanical actions. Depende sa output ng ating instructions. Okay, so ito lang po yung pinaka-basic. Madaming modifications po nito, depende sa ating gagawing robotic system. Okay, and to learn more, bago nun, speaking of mechanical actions, ito, konting introduction lang on the different types of robot motion and configuration because robots are also identified depende sa kanilang motion. So, for example, the first common type of robot is the Cartesian. So, kasi ang movement niya is along X and Y axis. Either x-axis lang or y-axis or both. Ayan. So linear lang along a straight line. Okay? So also known as rectilinear or prismatic robots. Okay? Linear movement. Pwede siyang cube or cuboid, and the joints are linear. Another type is the cylindrical robot. So cylinder, tang lata. So pwede siyang paikot. Okay? Pwede na siyang up and down and mag-move left or right. Okay? So may movement siya pag ganito, and then may movement siyang up and down. Another type is the polar robot. So polar robot naman, as you can see, may common na pole siya. Okay? Also known as spherical robots. Rotational ang kanyang movement. And po. And similar to the polar robot, we have a more advanced one, SCARA. SCARA stands for tagal. Selectively compliant arm for robotic assembly. So cylindrical po yung kanyang cylindrical na may pagka-polar. Okay? The other one, last one I think, a more advanced version also of the polar robot or spherical robot. You have the articulated robot. So polar siya na may extension, may another joint siya, another link, and so on.